Hello, and welcome to the Designing with Love podcast. I am your host, Jackie Pellegrin, where my goal is to bring you information, tips, and tricks as an instructional designer. Hello, instructional designers and educators. Welcome to episode 78 of the Designing with Love podcast. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome back Russell Van Brocklen, New York State Senate-funded dyslexia researcher, for part 2 of our series. In our last conversation, Russell gave us the big picture of his approach. Today, we're going to focus on helping students from first grade through third grade improve their writing and reading skills to the point where the teachers can take over and help them cross the finish line. Russell, welcome back. It's great to continue this conversation with you.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be back.
Yes, absolutely. So before we get into the moves you teach, can you explain in plain language why your step-by-step approach lowers cognitive load and keeps kids engaged?
Sure. So the first thing we need to do is, this book is the top of the food chain when it comes to dyslexia research. It's Overcoming Dyslexia by Sally Shaywitz from Yale. And I'm just going to reintroduce you to, this is the second edition, page 78, figure 23. That's dyslexia.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to notice the back part of the dyslexic brain. And you see how there's virtually no neural activity there?
Yes, I see that. Yep.
Now, with a typical brain, there's this massive activity.
Right.
Now, I need you to look at the front part. You see how the dyslexic brain's about 2.5 times overactive compared to the gen ed brain?
Yes, I see that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's my weird idea. Let's focus on the dyslexic strengths, not the weaknesses. So just to remind your audience, my initial program, I took a bunch. It was Averill Park Central School District, right outside of Albany, New York, my old high school. And I wanted to see what I could do with the idea. These were high school juniors and seniors selected by Averill Park that met the following criteria. They were highly intelligent, highly motivated, excellent family support, college bound. They're high school juniors and seniors dyslexic with 7th or 8th grade writing skills. Susan Ford was their best special ed teacher. It took about 4 hours to show her the process. 1 class period a day for the school year, about 180 sessions approximately. They went from middle school writing skills to average range of entering graduate school students.
Wow.
They all went out of college, no accommodations, GPAs at 2.5 to 3.6. How did I do that? Well, look at, again, the front part of the dyslexic brain. Yale said this is articulation followed by word analysis. We use the graduate records exam analytical writing assessment. Analytical, articulation, same thing. Very little word analysis. So after I presented that in New York City, what about typical students? I had to switch that over to word analysis followed by articulation. We're going to go into that in a lot of detail tonight. Okay. But if you want to make things more effective, all right, what you need to do is, if you can focus on the dyslexic speciality, their area of extreme interest and ability, it would make this a lot better. They're a lot more motivated. All right. But that's hard to do when you're dealing with 30 kids. Right. So Evelyn Whitebay, she's on the New York State Dyslexia Task Force as one of the most successful dyslexic teachers in New York State. She had an idea. Maybe you come up with 2 or 3 books that the kids are really interested in, divide them into groups, and then at least you have something where they're somewhat interested. Okay?
All right.
But secondly, you can do this. Do not ask a dyslexic student to learn from the general to the specific. It's like us grabbing fog. There's nothing there. So you can't ask, for example, if we're dealing with high school kids, what effect did Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech have on the American Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s? There's nothing for us to grab onto.
Right. Okay? That makes sense. Okay.
Because with a dyslexic, you ask them for your area of extreme interest and ability, your speciality. Do you have ideas flying around your head at light speed, but with little to no organization? They're going to say yes. So what we have to do is force the brain to organize itself by using writing as a measurable output. So we teach them from the specific to the general. What personally compelled Martin Luther King to want to give his famous speech? And then we do word analysis followed by articulation. So does that make sense?
That makes sense. Right. Yeah. So you want to start with their area of interest, and you want to see where is it that we can really hone in on those ideas that they have, right? And then help them organize it. And then you move to the more broad, right? And the more simple.
Yeah, we start with a very specific question, and then we move out from there.
I like that idea.
Okay.
So for many years, it was done the opposite way, right? The teachers would start more general and then move to specific. So they probably didn't understand why dyslexic students were failing, right?
That's not the reason. The reason why they're doing it, again, I'll go back to the science. Look at the back part. Look at the back part of the typical brain.
Right.
School is designed for the 80+% of people who aren't dyslexic.
Right. Okay.
But our brains are completely different. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you word analysis followed by articulation. And I want to make things very clear to your guests. I have tried this. Don't try this with kindergarten kids. Wait until they're in first grade. And then it's going to be notoriously slow. The older they are, the quicker they will pick it up. But you can start this in first grade. So the first thing that we need to do is, have you ever heard of dyslexic elementary school kids? And I'm just ripping this off from a special ed teacher in New York City who said that her elementary school dyslexic kids appeared to be writing randomly placed misspelled words. Sound familiar?
Yes, that does sound familiar because I have a lot of my coworkers that were former teachers. Now they're in higher education working in curriculum. And then they also have kids in school. So yeah, I've heard that quite a bit.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we're going to show you how to fix that. Okay. So we're going to do is I want you to, first of all, can you think of an elementary school child who met that description? They're in elementary school writing what appears to be randomly placed misspelled words.
Yes, I have we mentioned this before we started recording. I have a coworker who has a son that has ADHD. I don't know if he has dyslexia too. I'm not sure, but he definitely has ADHD. And she says his writing is all over the place. And he's in high school. He's a freshman. Okay. Or no. Yeah. So, you wanted elementary though, right? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Just so you know, ADHD and ADD, same thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. We solve it the same way. They just go through it quicker.
Oh, okay.
So this works for them too.
Okay. Sounds good.
You think a kid has ADHD, can't concentrate, get them in their speciality and they're laser focused for 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
Try to pull them away. Yes.
Right.
So, but you know of an elementary school kid like this, or should I use one of my standard examples?
Yeah, that might be good because I'm trying to think of anyone and I don't think I have coworkers that have kids. I think that's the only one, but he's in high school. Yeah.
Okay. So let me explain to you when we'll eventually get to high school, but for right now, I'm going to give you my standard example. Her name is Sarah. She's at the time 10 years old. Her favorite thing to do in the world is swimming. She's on the swim team. She took a course to be an assistant swim instructor for the really little kids. Okay. She gets in the pool every chance she can. All right. So what we do is the first thing is I'm going to go over 3 default writing strategies from this book. It's called Strategies from Struggling Writers.
Okay. Professor
James Collins. This is a result of a $1.5 million grant from the United States Education Department. He has 3 default writing strategies of copying, visualization, and narrative. Kids naturally want to use these. Schools tell them not to. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a list of 10 likes and 10 dislikes. If you don't like dislikes, you can do 20 likes. So I'm just going to assume the 10 and 10.
Okay.
So we have the child write out, or you can do this in a group. Doesn't matter. You write out the 10 things that they really, really like, and then the 10 things they really, really dislike. Okay. And then what you do is after we practice this with what they like and dislike, then you go to their book and you find out what their character likes and dislikes. So, for example, girls in elementary school almost always pick Hermione from Harry Potter for a very horrible reason. She's not stupid, and they don't want to be stupid anymore.
Okay.
Okay. So then they would go through book 1, The Sorcerer's Stone, give me 10 things that Hermione likes, and then 10 things that she doesn't like. They listen to the audiobook and follow along with their fingers trying to answer a specific question. Reduces that chaos in their head by about 70%.
Wow.
So what we do, first of all, is for Sarah. First thing is swimming. Okay, that's what she likes the most. So what we do is we're going to now engage the default writing strategy of copying. The instructor will type out on a laptop, no iPad, no iPhone, and no handwriting. Teachers are going to scream, "What do you mean no handwriting?" When I took the best students in my original program, they were hitting the 70th percentile. Then I said, here's an easier prompt, and read out the answer. The SUNY Distinguished Professor in Psychology, Dr. Halichka, said, I am trying to keep this at the 30th percentile. It should be at the 6th. The spelling and grammar went out the window. Because it's so much harder mental energy to try to write the letter W than to hit a key.
Yes, that's true.
Okay?
Right.
So, typing from now on a real keyboard. All right? No iPad, no iPhone. So, you're going to type out hero, plus sign, what are we talking about? Then Sarah will retype that. And we're going to switch it over. We're going to get rid of hero for Sarah. Sarah, plus sign, what are we talking about? Then we're going to take the first thing on her list that she likes. Sarah, plus sign, swimming. See how we got there?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to try to fool you. I'm going to ask you the simplest questions in the world. And if you answer them correctly, this will work. If you don't, it doesn't work. The simplest questions you will ever be asked. Do you think I can fool you?
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Let's
give
see.
It a try.
Most of the teachers get this wrong at major dyslexia conferences. Okay, remember, the thing Sarah loves best in the world is swimming. So we got Sarah, plus sign, swimming. The plus sign is the default writing strategy of visualization. It indicates that we most likely need to add a word, subtract a word, or move something around.
Right.
But we need to add a word here. So here's my question. Are you ready?
Yes. I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to try to fool you. Answer it exactly. Ready?
Okay. Yep.
Here's my question. Does Sarah like or dislike swimming?
Like.
Okay. Go ahead and complete the sentence for 3 words.
Sarah likes swimming.
You did it the first time and you messed it up the second time.
Oh, no. What did I do?
Okay. What do you think you did wrong?
Hello. I have some exciting news to share with all of my listeners. There is a feature called Fan Mail. What this allows you to do is send me a text message anytime during the episode. There's a link located at the top of the description in each episode, and it says Send Jackie a Text Message. So when you click on that link, you'll be able to send me a message letting me know what you thought about the episode and if you have any ideas for future episode content as well. I look forward to seeing your text messages. Thank you. Sarah, I replaced the like with, or the plus with the like.
That was correct. That was absolutely correct.
Sarah likes, what did I don't know. What did I do wrong?
Okay, and just so everybody knows, you teach instructional design.
Right.
And you don't see it.
No, I'm trying to imagine.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I am trying to let you know you're about ready to have an epiphany and understand how we're going to solve this. You still don't see it.
No, because I'm trying to imagine myself typing it and I'm picturing it in my head and I don't,
Okay, let me ask you one more time. I'm not trying to make you, I'm just trying to, you're about to have an epiphany. Your audience is about to, this whole thing's going to become clear.
Yes.
I asked you, what did you say initially when I asked you to Sarah like or dislike? Your answer, which was correct, was?
Like.
Okay.
I get it. I know what I did now.
What is it?
I said likes instead of like. So Sarah likes swimming, right? I was supposed to say.
Yeah, you added the, so what, just so your audience to understand.
Yes.
You did it initially. I asked, does she like or dislike? And you said like. Because that's what I asked.
Right.
But then, like every educated person, when you put it in the sentence, you corrected it. So Sarah likes swimming. Sarah, as a dyslexic, doesn't know how to add the S.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because my brain automatically knows I got to make it sound correct for English, right?
You automatically know that. It's ingrained. And this is where Sarah starts to feel really bad because how do we fix this?
Right.
So if you were really, really rich, if you were Bill Gates' grandkid or great grandkid, whatever it is, you would be looking at a Orton Gillingham multi-sensory structured language approach. And you would use seeing, touching, hearing, all of that. It takes 2 years and $11,000 to become certified. Okay.
Wow.
It's
That's
forever. But it works. This is what the wealthy school, this is what they do. So for example, the Windward School in the Upper East Side of Manhattan will take kids, let's assuming it's 4th grade or above, and they have a 98% success rate.
Wow.
$75,000 a year for 4 to 5 years.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yes. So now I'm about to show you how we're going to do this it's going to be absolutely clear and it's so much simpler. So let's assume it was Sarah. I would say, Sarah, do you like or dislike swimming? And she was like, like. I was like, okay. Now replace the plus sign. What do we have? Sarah likes swimming. I was like, okay, Sarah. But does that sound a bit weird? And she's enthusiastic. Yeah. I said, okay, read it out loud and let me know if it sounds generally correct. Sarah likes swimming. Does that sound generally correct, Sarah? No. Fix it. Sarah likes swimming. Okay. Now we practice that until the like and dislikes are correct every time. It's been mastered.
Right. Okay.
Okay. And teachers are here's what happens all the time. It's a race. Let's try to get through this. This is not a race.
Yeah.
You are going to do this really slowly.
Yeah. It's a journey, right? It's a journey for them. Yeah.
I'm teaching a mom now. I have permission to tell her story. Her name is Angela. Her son's name is August. She's a certified, she's not in special ed, but she's a certified elementary school teacher. And she's tried everything. So he's 9, and he found out he likes doing 2 to 3 sentences a session, and that's it. But she's made more progress in the last 3 weeks than she has in the last 3 years.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Okay. So don't try to make sure they get it correct. But you see how like and dislike is a simple form of word analysis.
Yes, absolutely. Wow.
Okay.
I love that exercise too, Russell, because it shows that there's a difference between how dyslexic kids and adults, how they process it, and how someone like me that's not dyslexic, it's just so automatic for me to want to correct it. And so that's an epiphany. Wow. Okay. I never realized it was like that, because I don't think I really ever understood really what dyslexic kids were going through when I was in school or anything like that, or even now, because it just wasn't something that was talked about a lot. And so, yeah, really helping them in that way. That's amazing. I love that.
But let's look at where we are. I mean, and just, the older the kid is, the quicker they'll pick it up. Third graders will pick this up a lot faster than first graders.
Right.
But even once we're done, congratulations. We're doing a 3-word sentence. We got to do better than that.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So what we're going to do is now we're going to add the word because. Okay. Give me a simple reason why Sarah likes swimming.
Let's see. Because she loves the water.
Because she loves the water. Sarah likes swimming because she loves the water. And what you got there is a whole mess of misspelled words. Okay. Now, the traditional way of teaching spelling to me is archaic, inefficient, and not based on the current science. So now I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this, because when I did my initial study, those kids, their spelling and grammar was atrocious. Dr. Herlichka describes it sometimes as disgusting. But after 180 days, it was clean at the graduate school level, entering graduate level. And guess what? Susan Ford, the teacher, spent almost no time on spelling and grammar to autocorrect it.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Now, I'm going to show you how we're going to autocorrect this. This is really important. What you're going to tell the student is before they put the period down, they can ask any question. Okay? But let's say, what was the reason you said again? Because she what?
Let's just say she enjoys the water.
She enjoys the water.
Yeah.
Maybe Sarah could ask, did I spell water correctly? And you'd be like, no, Sarah, you didn't. So now you type out water, and then she copies it because she asked before the period was put down. But that doesn't happen. These kids are period droppers. Once they put the period down, if there's a major, and I need to emphasize major grammatical issue, if you try to hit them up with every grammatical mistake, they will shut down and you're wasting your time. Just try to get the stuff that's massively disgusting, horrible out. And you know what that is.
Right.
Forget the simple and medium stuff, just the massive, horrible stuff. Where you really get them is if they make if it's a major grammatical or any spelling mistake. They got to retype the entire thing. So what happens? They keep making the same mistake over and over again, usually between 3 and 13 times. As they keep making the mistake, to help lessen the annoyance that they have with themselves, you simply need to tell them you made a silly mistake or a silly error. A silly mistake or a silly error. Okay? Now, once they understand that they're going to keep retyping, they're going to keep making the same mistake. Each time, they're going to start getting more annoyed with themselves. Then what's going to happen is they're going to start to hyper-focus. To around 9 to 13 times, they're focusing so hard you might see sweat coming down the forehead.
Wow.
Okay? And then finally, they'll keep getting it wrong until they get it correct. All right? And then you move on to the next one. You want them to keep repeating this until they do all 20 perfectly. Don't try to rush this. So then we do reason 1, and then I tell them we're going to come up with 2 reasons and glue them together with the word and. So reason 1 and reason 2, same thing. The same 20 ones. They're going to rewrite the same what they like or dislike, and then they're going to write the same reason 1 that they did before. They're recopying that. And then now we're adding just the second reason.
Okay.
And then we get to the bane of my existence when we get to 3 reasons. It's called the Oxford comma. And if I could go and just rip that out of the rule book, I would be so happy. So here's my question for you. For 3 reasons, are you a 1 comma person or a 2 comma person?
I'm a 2 comma person.
Okay. So what I do is we go to the kid's parents or guardians. Is this a 1 comma kid or a 2 comma kid? And even if you don't like it, it goes in the IEP and it's in there forever. If a teacher dislikes it, too bad. I have seen kids cry. I've seen kids held back for months because teachers and parents were at war with each other over a stupid 1 or 2 commas.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Wow.
It's in the IEP. Keep it there. You don't like it. Tough. All right. Because you literally will cause extreme anxiety with these kids.
Gosh, I didn't know it was that crazy.
It is that bad. I literally had kids who were crying over this.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
taught 2 commas. The teacher went. I am confused. And the whole thing just
all over a comma.
all over this the darn Oxford comma.
Yeah.
Okay. And I found the simplest way is just go to the parents or guardians and say, is this a 1 comma kid or a 2 comma kid? Then it's in the IEP and stuff. In individual education.
Yes.
Okay. Then you do 3. And remember, we're doing this until 20 are perfect. They mess up on number 19, start over again.
Yeah.
If you only get through 4 in a session, come back to the next session. Work with the parents to help do this, to do the grunt work at home.
Right. Yeah.
I'm advocating teacher, parent, kind of think of it as like math homework.
Right.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Now, do you have any questions with that process?
No, that's really good. That actually was eye-opening for me to see that difference. Yeah. And now I understand better what these students go through every day and what the teachers go through and the parents. So it's a real partnership where you want the parents and the teachers to work hand in hand, because you can't have that. You can't have the teachers do one thing and then the parents do another thing at home, because then the kid's going to get confused, right? And they're going to be, it's like a tennis match, right? The ball's going back and forth and you're not going to have.
Right, but here's the other thing. Just give me a rough idea. You're in Arizona. What is the average student to teacher ratio in a public school in Arizona for elementary school? Just give me a ballpark number.
I would say probably 5 for every teacher, there's probably about 30 students in a class.
Okay.
I would say.
So you need to be able to go to the parents and have them do the grunt work at home.
Right.
And just so teachers understand, can parents do this on their own? I recently heard back from, I have full permission to tell her story. Kimberly was homeschooling her son Reed, who was 10 years old, reading and writing at somewhere in the mid-second grade level. So he's in the state of Ohio. The test, he scored a 190. If he was in public school for the rest of the school year, the statistics were he should increase by 2.8 points to a 192.8. Grade level was 211 at the end of fifth grade. Kimberly worked with him for half an hour a day, 3 days a week, for a little under 6 months. I worked with her for half an hour a week. Remember, she's a parent, not a teacher. She needs a lot more support.
Right.
Reed didn't increase by 2.8 points. He increased by 20 points to a 210.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
1 point below average. So then his friend said, Reed, for social reasons, we want you to come to public school. So he and his brother decided to go to public school, and his sisters decided no. Okay, so he goes in, he's in normal classes, normal gen ed classes, doing just fine. If this was January, he would have been put in special ed. They wouldn't know how to deal with him, and he wouldn't be with his friends, and it would have been a big blow up.
Right.
His mom did this in a little under 6 months. So mom can do it, teachers can do it.
Absolutely. Right.
Okay.
That gives them that motivation that they can do it.
So now let's take a look at the next, because right now, I don't know where you're going to think of basic 3 reason sentences. I usually am told end of second, beginning third grade, somewhere. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to do, how do we do reading? So one of the big things I want you to understand is I don't teach reading. I teach writing. Because I have this is very important for you to understand. If the kid can write it, they can read it.
Right.
And now I'm going to show you how we're going to start developing a vocabulary of dozens and eventually hundreds of evolved words. Okay? It's
great.
To give you an example of why I do it this way. I want you to do you ever go to the movies?
Yes, I do.
Do you ever read movie reviews where you can look and see that the journalist who did this went to an Ivy League college, and they essentially tell you this happened and this happened and this happened? Does that sound familiar?
It does. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to show you a way that where we find a universal theme, and then if you apply it to this, you write a review on how the actors did with that universal theme, the director, and the screenwriter. So now you reviewed the movie, they understand what's going on at the most important level, what you think of it, but you didn't tell them A, B, C happened.
Right. Okay.
Okay? Pathetic that I'm telling you is something that's quick when people are trained in how to do this at the Ivy League. It's just, I can't understand it.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do is understand the meaning of a universal theme. So what we have to do is remember what we just did. Like and dislike is a form of word analysis. Then because after that, the reasons are articulation. That's how the front part of the brain works. Word analysis followed by articulation. 2.5 times the neural activity. Now we're going to do the same thing here, but at a much deeper level. And once the kid learns the word, I had this happen so many times. They learn the word somewhere in elementary school. And then when they're taking their SATs or ACTs in high school, the vocabulary section is simply, the verbal section is essentially a vocabulary test. They remember 70 to 80% of the definition. They don't need to learn a list of hundreds of evolved words. They already know them.
Right.
Drives their peers crazy. They said, oh, I learned that in 5th grade. Like, what? I have a lot of fun with it. So what we do, let's start off with what I like to call the half circle.
Okay.
We have a hero. The hero wants to do something. So we ask them to write it out in a sentence. Do you see how they just wrote a 3-reason sentence? Now they can write out a basic sentence?
Right.
Then we're going to ask for an action word, a word that takes the hero in the general direction they want to go. And then a most important word, another form of word analysis. Then that's going to be what I call the base universal theme. The base universal theme is normally very broad. Then what we're going to do is go to a thesaurus and look up 5 words, 10 words, maybe use AI, maybe not. I recommend against it. just so you know, as far as AI is concerned, if a teacher says AI any one of these steps can be used, I think it's ethical. If a teacher doesn't say it can be used and they use it, it's not ethical. Teachers can disagree amongst themselves, but they're the ones that decide yes or no, and it's per teacher. Okay? I found everybody can pretty much agree with that one.
Right.
All right. But as we eventually show you, once you understand this, you can send your kids home to do essays. And if they can't show their work, you put a big red F and say, go do it and show me the steps.
Right.
So you know that it wasn't just cranked out by ChatGPT.
Right. That's true.
So once we find, maybe it's 5 synonyms, 10 synonyms, we have them type out the word, go to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary. They cannot copy and paste. They cannot copy and paste. I can say this until I'm blue in the face. They have to type it out. Copying and pasting is a waste of time. They have to type out the word, type out the definition. Let me tell you why. How many times do you need to type out a word and type out a definition until you know it?
Multiple times. Yeah, yes. Multiple times. Yeah.
Maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 20. Who cares?
Right.
It is what it is. They do this until they know it. Eventually, they're going to have dozens of the evolved words and then hundreds. Do you want to see a big jump up in reading scores?
Oh, right. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that's our post-universal thing. And then if I'm dealing with young kids, when I come to the ultimate villain who can best prevent the hero from accomplishing their goals, I tend to just leave it as a person. The older the kids get, you're professionals, you can then move it on as a person or a concept.
Right. Okay? That makes sense.
And then as they get older, I'll do person and a concept. And then we'll have a hero, universal theme, ultimate villain, separated by plus signs. Ask them to read it out loud. Does it sound correct? No, fix it. And they give you a basic sentence.
Right.
So let's go into that into more. That's the overview. Let's go into more detail.
Sure.
So I want you to think of a bright student who this could be helpful to, and then change their name to protect their identity.
So what, should they be elementary school or?
It doesn't matter. You can use this in 3rd grade. You can use this with PhD. So just, if I'm doing this with a PhD student, what does the hero want to do? They might write 20 pages. Then I would go through that, have AI select the action words and the most important words, and there's certain ways I filter it out. So it's the same thing. When you have more ideas, you tend to get better answers. But just pick up probably an elementary or middle school kid.
Okay. Let's see. So I have a friend, her little boy, I won't say his real name, but he's 8 going on 9. So he's a pretty bright kid, but he tends to, because he's been on a tablet since he was 2, which I don't agree with, but that's the way it is. But he wants to go into like programming and stuff like that. So he actually does at 8, he's doing programming stuff, but his reading and writing is not that great. So that's where he needs the help. So,
what's his name?
Do you want me to give his real name?
No. Make up a name. Make up a name. Make up a first name so he's completely protected.
Okay. Let's say John.
John. Okay. First thing we're going to do is take that tablet away from him.
Okay.
And we're going to give him a laptop. Is that an iPad that he's using?
Yes, and then the mom and dad have like the keyboard, that you can detach and attach to it.
Oh, so it's a real keyboard.
Yeah, so it's like one of those iPad keyboards and stuff like that. So you can type on it.
Then he can use it. Okay.
Okay.
No typing on it has to be a keyboard. So yeah, you can use that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have John. What's John's favorite book?
Shoot, I'm trying to think. Probably Nightmare Before Christmas. I think he likes that one.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Who's the hero?
The hero is, I guess you could say Santa Claus would be the hero.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does Santa Claus want? So you're going to type out Santa Claus.
Right, Santa Claus.
What does Santa Claus want to do? One sentence.
Santa Claus wants to deliver the presents for Christmas.
In that book, is that what he wants to do?
Yes.
Okay. So Santa Claus wants to deliver the kids Christmas presents. Okay.
Right.
What is the action word in that? What's the word that'll take the hero in the general direction they want to go?
Deliver.
Okay. I'm going to say wants.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
No, that is not saying that's the correct answer.
But that's
this is what teachers need to understand.
Right.
This is where I'm going to tell you real learning occurs. You're going to say deliver. Why is deliver the action word?
I think it's because I think of that as like the action verb, that he's actually doing something. So that's what made me think of that as the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying wants because that's going to move him in the general direction he wants to go.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we can disagree on that. You can say, well, you think it's delivered. I can say, well, I think it's wants. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the class can decide what they think.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a genuine disagreement, you can politely argue with it. And that's where the real learning occurs.
Right. Okay.
Okay. This is what they're going to remember in the future, not some lesson. I hate to say you teach them a lesson, and it's like, we're clearly not just out of college, you and I.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
We don't remember what we did on a Tuesday in the third week of January in fourth grade. We just don't remember.
Exactly.
Okay. This is what they remember. Okay. So you figure out whatever your action word is. Now, what's the most important word of that sentence?
For me, I would say the presents, because that's what he's aiming to do. He wants to deliver those presents. So I would say presents.
I would say the most important word was deliver.
Oh.
I would assume that presents are presumed.
Oh.
And again, we can disagree on that.
I can see where you're coming from on that. Yeah, that makes sense.
But and sometimes they're the same word.
Right, because it's good to see each other's thought process and how, and where we came up with those things. Yeah.
Right. Now, do you see how this is a form of word analysis? It really got you thinking.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
So, and remember, when you're teaching this, I'm just going to tell you what's going to happen. It's going to start off so slowly.
Yeah.
Just to show you how bad this could get. When I taught my original program, the most advanced guy I taught it to completed an MBA, Master's in Business Administration, from Columbia University, Ivy League, and he did very well. So I gave him, if I walked into any high school and any AP English class and said, what is this argument asking you to do? It would take less than a second for any of the kids to tell me once they finished reading. It took him almost 60 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And then after he practiced it a couple hundred times, he got real fast. So eventually the dyslexic will get much faster than their peers are, and sometimes much faster than their teachers. Because remember, this is the part of our brain that's overactive.
Right.
Okay. So what we're going to do is that what way do you want to go? What word do you want to use?
We can use wants if you want. Yeah, let's use wants.
No, wants is horrible. That's horrible.
You want to use deliver?
Usually you go with the most important word. And sometimes
I see.
The action words, but we have presence and deliver. Which way do you want? Just because it's my idea doesn't mean it's right. Which one do you like better?
We can go with presence. Yeah, let's go with presence.
Presence. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is that's our base universal theme. And I'm going to show you how you can do this easier. I want you to go to ChatGPT.
Okay.
Tell them, type in tell them what the hero wants to do. You're going to tell them the most important word is presence. All right. And then you want 10 synonyms of what the hero wants to do in relation to presence. And you want them to type out the word and give it a custom definition. Okay.
So I'm putting in ChatGPT. What am I typing in there?
You're going to want to say the hero. What does the hero want to do? Type that out. This is what the hero wants to do. The hero Santa Claus wants to deliver presents. So you just type the hero is Santa Claus. He wants to deliver presents. Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to say the most important word is presents.
Okay.
Based on what the hero wants to do, give me 10 synonyms with custom definitions.
10 custom definitions. Okay.
Right. Now you're going to send the kid, and they're going to do this manually.
Right.
But once you've got past the problem stage, I just have kids do it with the AI.
Yep. So here's what it did. It came up with 10 synonyms with custom story-friendly definitions. You can give your narrative variety and charm. I like that. That's cool. So we have the 10.
So here's what I would ask it. Here's the next step. Tell it to pick the top 5 compared to what the hero wants to do.
Okay.
Now, so you see how it gave you the top 5. Now, did it give you the definitions as well, or if not, tell it to?
Yep.
Okay. Now, instead of us going through this because it tends to annoy the listeners, just pick the one that you think is the best, the one that has the best definition that matches your head. I don't care what the word is. Which one has the best definition that matches your head?
Let's see. I would say, surprises. It says captures the wonder of children waking up to the unknown delights.
Okay, so surprises. So now that's our post-universal theme.
Okay.
Now, when the kids do this, they're going to go to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, pick their definition, and type it out again. As I said, we're going to have them keep doing this. It'll be 5, 10, 15, 20 times. Who knows? Eventually, they're going to have that moved in, and they'll just type it out because they know it.
Right.
After I've had kids do this in 5th grade for like 6 months, the smartest kids and most motivated, they will go down, not only look at the first level on the synonyms, they'll go down to the second, third, until they get to a level where I call garbage words, where it's not as good as the previous level. And they'll go through 200 words in less than 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Because they know all the definitions.
Right.
Yeah, wow. Freaks their teachers. How did you know all this? Well, this is what I did for the last 6 months. All right, wow. So what you just did, now do you see how this definition best matches what's in your head?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, this is so important. This is unique to you.
Right.
If we're going through all those definitions, somebody else might pick the same word, but over time, they're probably going to pick a different definition. Or even if they pick the same definition, it's for different reasons than why you picked it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So this is unique to you. Now, based on, we have the hero of Santa Claus. We have the final universal theme is, again, it's what word?
Presents. Well, it's surprises now, right?
Surprises.
Yep. Surprises.
Okay. Now, what person is the ultimate villain that can best prevent Santa Claus from delivering his surprises?
Jack Skellington.
Okay. Now, we have those 3 words separated by plus signs. Make it a simple sentence. Just connect it so it sounds generally correct.
Okay. Oh, where I have the villain in there too? So I have... Okay. So we can... I don't remember what the original sentence was. Santa Claus...
Santa Claus, plus sign, surprises, plus sign, Jack, whatever his name is.
Okay. So I want to put it together into a sentence where...
Right. We just have those 3 words separated by plus signs. Just add a couple of words.
Okay.
And until it makes sense.
Okay. So Santa Claus wants to deliver surprises to the children on Christmas Day, but Jack Skellington took down the sleigh or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
How does that sound?
No. That's it.
Yep.
Then we do it again. Okay. And we keep doing this until the kids have it.
Oh, okay.
This is going to take forever for an 8-year-old in 3rd grade.
Right.
They'll probably get it by the end of 4th grade. Much easier to teach in 5th. So if you don't get them to pass the 3rd grade reading and writing test, English language arts, then we can shoot for 4th grade. We want to make sure they have it done by the end of 5th.
Oh, okay. So when you're working with them and you're finding out their favorite book, then they already know the story, right? So that way they can make these sentences and connections so much easier, right?
What you do is you give the kid the correct book and audio book. So they're listening to their audio book while following along with the real book, trying to answer a specific question. Give that to the parents to do at night.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And then if you're, again, what Evelyn Whitebay said, if you got 30 kids, maybe you pick 2 books or 3 books and go around, at least so the kids have an interest in the book, somewhat of an interest. Make it so much easier to teach.
Right. Exactly.
And give the parents the grunt work to do it at home. Now, this is not going to work for every kid. I'm assuming that the parents want to try to overcome the issue and the kid wants to at least halfway try.
Right.
You get them in their specialty, they will care a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you see now what we discussed tonight. What we did is now you understand how to get their sentence writing skills from kindergarten to end of second, beginning third grade level. And now you're learning how to understand how to get them to start developing a real vocabulary.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that all makes sense now. You start with the putting those plus signs there. You get them to start with their interest, and then you move on to the sentence structure. And
yes.
I can see how writing, is so important because then it helps them with the reading. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, and we've done this in about 45 minutes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Great.
All right.
I love it.
Now, for next time,
yes,
what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a more advanced reason. I'm just going to tell you the big picture. We're going to come up with, because remember, we just did a lot of word analysis. Now we're going to do articulation. We're going to come up with 3 good reasons. Okay? Not any reason, the 3 best reasons the kids can come up with. For each reason, after that, I'm going to show you how to take the reason and to make it a simple universal theme so they can go find a quote. And then this is going to really oversimplify it. You will not be ready to teach this until I show you in detail. But we're going to take that quote and then we're going to answer the basic questions: who, what, when, where, how, why. And I'm going to show you how to turn that into a basic body paragraph.
Oh, I love that. And that's what we're taught in writing. The who, what, when.
But this is going to be a very unique way of doing it.
I love that.
The next thing up, that's the end of context, the craft of research, context, problem, solution. Then we're going to do problem.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm going to show you to do on problem is we're going to come back. And for each reason, we're not going to look for one universal theme. We're going to work for 2. They're going to start off by being very close together. As the kid evolves, you're going to find a lot in the beginning of the book and a lot at the end of the book. You're going to pick your 2 best ones. Okay?
Right.
And then I'm going to show you how to create a warrant for each of those sentences. That's from the craft of research, and a lot of people haven't heard of what a warrant is. It's a way of organizing your thoughts in a systematic way to explain a quote, essentially. That's my definition of it.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to do that with 2 quotes, so those body paragraphs, which will be enough to get you past the high school essay.
Into college. Okay.
And into college. Okay. So just that one addition, as the kids practice that, like Reed's practicing that now in 6th grade. He's really good he's getting really good at doing the quotes.
Wow. That's great.
If I can, I show you how to do 3 body paragraphs. You do the introduction and conclusion. Now we have enough to get them to pass the high school essay.
I love that. Wow.
And they're in middle school at this point.
I mean, this is great. And not only is this great for teachers, Russell, but I can see this being good for instructional coaches, like curriculum coaches in school, and also people like me, instructional designers, that we, I don't think enough attention is given to this, because if the kids were younger, now they're adults, we don't realize, because universal design for learning, as you know, is so important. Being able to design for every learner, no matter where they're at. And so I think these are great to know at, whatever age they're at, so that you can meet them where they're at and hopefully help improve, right? Like you said.
Let me be clear. Kimberly made this work. Now, she's just not any mom. She has taught her Reed's 4 brothers and sisters to read well.
Yeah.
Using traditional methods. Okay. So she's not an inexperienced mom, but she's a homeschooling mom, but still not anywhere near a professionally trained teacher. Okay. So just think about what I just told you. I gave you the outline.
Right.
How I'm going to get you to do body paragraphs that are acceptable in high school and college as the next thing.
Right. As the next thing. Yeah.
It's literally that simple.
Wow. I love it. Wow.
Okay.
I love it how you're teasing us for the next one. So that's great. It gives it something to look forward to for my listeners. So is there anything you wanted to mention before we wrap up? Okay.
If anybody has any more direct questions, if they just go to Dyslexia Classes, plural with an S, dyslexiaclasses.com, there's a button there that says download free report. Just type on that, answer a few questions. You get a document, the 3 reasons your child's having trouble in school due to dyslexia. And you can also set up, then you can set up a time to speak with me for about, for half an hour on whatever questions you have.
Perfect. I love that.
Okay.
Well, Russell, thank you so much for coming back and sharing these practical strategies with us today. I know my listeners will really appreciate having such a clear, actionable set of moves that they can start using right away with their learners and their kids too. So that's great. And so for those listening, don't forget to check the show notes for the free resources that Russell will send over to me that will help you put these ideas into practice tonight. So the best part is, as we've mentioned, we're not done yet. So you'll be back soon, Russell, for part 3 of the series. And we're going to dive into the problem stage. Is that correct? For the next one?
No, we'll be going into answering the 3 reasons.
Answering the 3 reasons.
This, and doing the basic. And then from there, going into how to do the basic paragraphs, 3 body paragraphs.
Okay, great.
All right.
So we definitely don't want our listeners to miss this one. We want to make sure we get them to that. So again, thank you, Russell. It's been a pleasure having you here. And thank you for joining me for part 2 today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Thank you for taking some time to listen to this podcast episode today. Your support means the world to me. If you'd like to help keep the podcast going, you can share it with a friend or colleague, leave a heartfelt review, or offer a monetary contribution. Every act of support, big or small, makes a difference, and I'm truly thankful for you.